Hey guys, look, I know you might not even be able to conceive of the idea of traveling to Spain right now, but with vaccines coming, I sense there's a little bit of a glimmer of light at the end of this really long coronavirus tunnel. And so you might be starting to think that maybe 2021, maybe this year, or maybe it's next year, you can get to Spain. Either way, I think when you do finally get back here, you're going to want to make it a pretty special trip.
So we've come up with 7 very special experiences for when you come to Spain. They're really our bucket list. Places that we would love to visit and experiences that we would love to do in 2021 and 2022. And we hope they will inspire you to do something a little bit different perhaps when you come next to Spain.
Venga, let's go.
Vale.
And number 1, I'm going to kick off. Now, I would love this year to visit some of Spain's pueblos fantasmas, or ghost towns or ghost villages. There's more than 100 villages throughout this country that for one reason or another have just been emptied out, and the inner Indiana Jones in me wants to explore them. Yeah, I don't have a whip, guys. I'm not even going to go there. So as I say, there's a lot of them, but I want to highlight a couple of them here. So there's one called Belchite in Zaragoza. Now this town was the scene of bombardment and a battle in the Spanish Civil War. It was completely destroyed, predominantly destroyed. And Franco decided to leave it how it is. So you can go and visit Belchite now, and it just is this remnant of a destroyed city from a war. And I think it would be very moving to walk through the streets. Really, really dramatic. There's another one, Granadilla in Cáceres, which was actually emptied out in 1955 because they were going to build, well, they did build a reservoir in the area, and they thought it was going to be flooded, so everybody had to leave. But it wasn't flooded. So when you look down on Google Maps from the sky, it is surreal. There's this reservoir, and just on this little outcropping is this perfectly round medieval walled city, which was preserved, but nobody ever moved back. And now it's become a place you can visit and explore. And so that's another one. But not all villages were emptied out because of some dramatic event. A lot of them just emptied out because people moved to the cities and the urban drift in the 50s and 60s. And so there's places like Turuncún, which is hard to say and sounds made up, in La Rioja, which 100 years ago had about 300 inhabitants, and then in 1991 had 3 inhabitants. Wow. And it's still there, the structures, and you can see that.
Or my mom's village, La Nueva in Guadalajara. There is running water, but
all the modernities there.
Oh, it's incredible. I checked with my mom, and there are about 10 to 12 people in winter. In summer, people go there maybe for the summer, but yeah, during the winter, 10 or 12 people.
And when she was growing up, it was a bustling village.
Yeah, so. I mean, bustling, like 200.
maybe not bustling. So that's my number 1. Pass it over to you, Yoly.
Mira qué bonita eres, mira qué bonita eres, por donde tú vas pisando, nacen rosas y claveles, tú me estás enamorando.
So on top of my list is, of course, Juerga.
Flamenco, I was going to say.
Well, there you go. So as you know, I love flamenco. And to me, one of the freshest ways to see flamenco, one of the most authentic ways to see flamenco is Juerga, flamenco party that is spontaneous, like flamenco. Think of jazz. It's very improvised like that, flamenco. So after almost a year now of lockdown, I am in need of a flamenco party, of a juerga. So how would you experience a juerga? Well, maybe if you go to a flamenco venue where there is a big performance on that day, maybe the friends are going to be there, the friends of the artist, and after the show, the artist will come out and, they will chat for a little bit, and maybe if you're lucky, they will start singing, they will start doing their thing.
And it'll usually kind of happen in the bar or something like that.
In the bar, yeah, like usually outside, or maybe even at a different bar that is next door to the venue, say. So you need to kind of follow them. Now, if you're lucky enough that it does happen, my advice is not to clap and not to speak.
Just observe and keep your phones in your pocket, right?
Yeah.
Surreptitious photos are okay.
Just cheeky ones.
Yeah.
Yoly. Que se rían de ti la gente, o que te tomen por loca.
Okay, number 3. Spain is known for its state-of-the-art modern trains, but something that I would love to do in 2021 is actually ride on one of the oldest trains in the country. And there is a train that I'm thinking of. It's more of a package journey, and it's called Al-Andalus, and it looks like something out of Murder on the Orient Express, without the murder, hopefully. This is a series of train cars that were actually used by the English royal family in the 1920s to travel around southern France. And nowadays you can spend a week on this train traveling across Andalusia, and they have like 2 restaurant carts, a bar cart, there's a like a game salon, and it literally looks like something out of, you know, season 1 of The Crown. And so by night you're sleeping in one of your luxurious compartments, and they look really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then by day you're traveling on the train, you'll go for breakfast, you know, and then you'll say hit Seville or Ronda or Granada or Jerez, you'll get off and explore the city, and then you come back to the train at night for maybe like a concert in the bar cart, and then get changed for dinner. I mean, it feels like the kind of thing where you're gonna have to put your tuxedo on. It feels very, very cool. And they've thought of everything. Literally on the FAQ, there's a question of like, is there an umbrella on the train?
Very important.
Yes, there is an
Andalusia.
umbrella. Yeah, not even, you're in Andalusia. And according to the website, the next departure is September 2021.
Ooh.
We'll see, yeah. Here's the thing, Yoly, it is really expensive. Well, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not expensive for certain people out there, but it's like $4,000 a person.
It is expensive.
We're gonna have to get that one sponsored. So if the marketing manager from Al-Andalus, I can say your name properly when you sponsor the video, I promise.
Wink.
Yeah, anyway, that's on my list. Recently I bought Yoly a gift, and it was a book about flamenco, and I wrote a dedication in there, and when I looked at my handwriting, it was like, it was weird. It was weird to write by hand.
I can't write anymore. It's so awkward.
It was
always.
so awkward. And so here's the thing. You guys will have heard of Skillshare. We've talked about it a number of times. It's an online learning platform with thousands of classes for creative and curious people, and they're sponsoring this video. And how this all connects together is that I recently did a course. It's kind of actually a challenge, a 10-day challenge, but it's a course by this wonderful writer called Emily Gould, this published writer. And it's a journaling course where you spend about 10 minutes each day just writing kind of what's coming up to you, what you've noticed in that day. And I found it really, really helpful to kind of slow things down. So sometimes with like journaling, and I've always poo-pooed a little bit the idea of journaling, it can be hard to know where to start, like what do I write about? But she gives some great tips for kind of prompts. And one is that I really like is, today I noticed ... And she gives some others that other people have used and give examples. And I just feel like with our brains moving so quickly, with news moving so quickly, with so much spiraling around, to be able to sit down, take 10 minutes with your hand and write, I found it really kind of beneficial and kind of mindful. And of course with Skillshare, there's always a lot of activity in the community section where people are commenting on their experience and supporting each other. So if you're looking to kick off 2021 by learning a new skill, by deepening a current interest, or just kind of taking a left turn and trying journaling or whatever it is, there is so much in there, thousands of courses, and it's just a great way to kind of get started. It's really easy, and once you've got your membership, you can just go nuts. And as you guys know, I'm a lifelong learner and I love it. And I do love that community side, the fact that you can get in there and see how other people are kind of experiencing these courses. It really is membership with meaning. So here's the thing, there's a link in the description, and the first 1,000 people to click on that link will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. And then after that, it's about $10 a month. So check it out, dive in, keep learning. All right, on to the next one.
Okay, so I'm staying in the south, of course.
Of course you are.
So you've heard of the Camino de Santiago, right? An internationally renowned pilgrimage. There is another pilgrimage in Spain, the Rocío. Okay, so there is this small town in Huelva called El Rocío, and it's a sort of like Wild West kind of town. It's unpaved. People ride horses instead of driving cars. I mean, it's a really, really special place. I've been there a couple of summers ago. I was there with friends, and I can tell you it's a fantastic, really special place. And so from 1653, there is this pilgrimage that happens once a year around Easter, and people go from all places in Spain and especially Andalusia take this pilgrimage to El Rocío. They spend around a week traveling, and they do this on foot or on a horse.
Or
also
right?
carriages as well. And a lot of people actually spend the night outside, like they will set up
under
tents.
the star. Oh, wow.
Yeah, they'll set up tents instead of like booking a hotel, so that would be pretty cool. And so the final destination of this pilgrimage is El Rocío, as I say, where there is a small church with the statue of the Virgin of El Rocío, and people worship her. And there will be a parade with the statue around the village. So that would be something that I would love to do either this year or next year. James is not so great with the whole camping thing, so maybe we do a Rocío glamping experience. I don't know.
I like the sound of that. Rocío glamping. This is not your standard camino. Yeah, and we'll drop links into the description below of a lot of things we're talking about, so you can kind of find them and start to do your own research as well. All right, on to the next one. Okay, number 5 for me is experiencing Holy Week in Seville. Now, a lot of you will know Holy Week or Easter Week is a big deal here in Spain, and throughout the country there are processions, and the different towns and villages are connected with that, and a lot of people get involved. But Seville is really the epicenter of Easter week, and there's like 70 processions that happen throughout the city over that week. And even back in the 16th century, there were already 30 processions happening. So this has a long, long history. And the processions culminate just after midnight on Good Friday, when they have one procession called El Silencio, where it is totally in silence and everybody's watching in silence. And I've heard about this, I've read it, I've seen videos, and I would love to experience this and just the kind of the drama, the ambiance, and see what that's like. There's another one called La Macarena, which goes for 14 hours and is in honor of La Virgen de la Macarena, one of the virgins. I don't think they sing that. Different vibe. Look, I'm not a religious person, but I want to go because I just love the drama and the spectacle of processions. There's something about it. And actually for a lot of people in Seville who belong to the brotherhoods, who carry the pasos, the floats and things like that, they're not, for a lot of them, it is religious, but it's such a strong cultural thing there as well, that people come together, the bars are full. I don't know if it's going to happen in 2021 because it's all about crowds. There is no social distancing in Holy Week. But
under the floats.
Yeah, under the floats, yeah, which is literally sealed off hermetically. So something to look forward for the future, but if it's something you want to experience, I really recommend checking it out because I think it's a once-in-a-lifetime unique opportunity.
So I'm going northeast this time for a change.
Not much flamenco up there, my love.
So there's this part of Spain that is really mysterious to me, and it's called the Delta del Ebro, so the Ebro River Delta. So it's one of the largest wetlands in the Mediterranean, and it's sort of like a magical place. So the river Ebro cuts through it, and it's just full of rice fields and citrus groves. I mean, it's just like a magical place. Hundreds of different bird species that you can go and observe. It's a really, really cool place. I mean, there's even flamingos.
I was going to say, I've seen that, yeah.
Not flamencos.
Okay, so yeah. Well, flamingo in Spanish is flamenco, so there is flamenco there. You found a way to get it in.
Always. So a great way to explore this flatland is on bike, of course. And I've checked out this restaurant called Casa Nuri on the Ebro River. And you can enjoy like rice dishes and seafood dishes. And it looks gorgeous as the river gives into the sea. I mean, it looks marvelous.
It looks very, very cool. It kind of reminds me of something out of Miami Vice or something, that kind of Everglades kind of mystery and things going on.
It's really, really cool. And don't forget your swimming costume because there's also wonderful, gorgeous beaches.
I hate the beach. No, I don't. I love the beach. I'm more of the Casa Nuri type, so I'm down with that.
You wait for me in the Chiringuito, yeah?
I'll be there with a cold beer. I read a book a number of years ago that I loved called Coasting by a guy called Jonathan Raban. I'll link to it again below. And so in this book, the writer Raban sails around England using this kind of technical nautical term, which is coasting, which means always in sight of the land. And it just has a lot of romance, this book. It sounds like a magical way to experience a country, kind of going around it, always looking back onto the land and, stopping off at towns and things like that. So look, I am not 100% comfortable on water. Like I can swim and everything. I'm not hopeless.
We can't sail.
Exactly. I don't know how to sail. I live in Madrid. I don't have a lot of experience of the Med. And maybe this is a little bit about me wanting to start to experience, the Mediterranean and the Atlantic coast in a more of a way because I've had so much land experience. And also, I think a lot of us want to experience more of nature in this kind of post, can I use that term? Not yet coronavirus world, or when that world comes. And so how would we do this? I just had this dream of, say, chartering a skippered boat. I haven't told Yoly all these details.
Sounds expensive.
This will be another sponsored video. Any skippers out there with a boat? Chartering a sponsored boat, yes. Chartering a skippered boat, and kind of they drive or whatever you call it, sail, and we like help out and pull ropes and stuff. But also,
and take a lot of Insta pictures.
Yeah, exactly. You got gin tonic and you're cooking, and then you stop off at a town and you swim in and you go to the Chiringuito.
Sounds fabulous.
Yeah, I have a dream of that. So I don't know where to start on that. I feel like it's appropriate that that's number 7 because it's way off in the distance.
Yeah, it's very romantic. I like it.
There we go. That's
Never
it.
spent a night on a boat myself.
There we go. Never spent a night on a boat. We're going to do it. So guys, if you want more Spain ideas of places you can visit once you can finally come here, click the video that's appearing up here somewhere on your screen where we go through 11 really unmissable places in Spain that we love, and that will really help with your kind of planning or dreaming or everything. So click that and we'll see you over there in a moment in that video.
Ciao.